Hello, everybody. I am Warren. I am the brand director at Mount Magic. I'm a father of two. And in today's Instagram Live, we are talking about the tips for choosing the perfect car seat and more. Today, we're going to go into conversation with a brand that I personally love and I think that are deemed experts in their field, not just in South Africa, but all over the world. They are pioneering and really do well with what they have to offer. So if you've got any questions about car seats, car safety tips, we've got a lot of questions that have come in already, but please, on the bottom of the screen, please drop your questions in there and we'll be able to hopefully answer them in the course of this session. So I'm a dad of two and I've got two kids that have both been in car seats some immediately they were born. And I'll never forget the first time I had to install a car seat after leaving the hospital with my son, who's the oldest of the two. And it was a bit of a daunting experience. Thankfully, I got the hang of it and we eventually kind of got over that. But, it can be quite a daunting experience. I think even if you're first-time parents and you're trying to choose a new car seat and therefore a pram and a stroller that goes with it, you've got to choose something that's part of your lifestyle and that's something that will work for you. So today we're talking to Debbie Bilson. She is the operations director at Brands Africa. Brands Africa is the team behind the Maxi-Cosi brand here in South Africa. So if you've got any questions and tips before we get Debbie into conversation about choosing the perfect car seat or some car safety tips that you would like to add, please just drop it into the comments box below and we would love to hear from you. And hopefully between myself and Debbie, just give you some advice and some guidance in. Let's have a meet and see Debbie for the first time. For those of you who don't know, Debbie is out in the Windy City and she is working from home, but still ensuring that everybody remains safe during this time, particularly in their car seats. Good afternoon, Debbie.
Good afternoon, Warren. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you.
Oh, wonderful.
It's been a long time, but I hope that you are keeping well and that you are still helping all the moms and dads out there that need some guidance during this time.
Yes, we most definitely are trying our absolute best, and we're very grateful that our doors are open and that we started trading again.
Awesome. I see Audrey's tuned in. So hi, Audrey, all the way from Europe. Maybe just to give everybody some context, and especially for first-time parents, I think, maybe just give us an idea of who Maxi-Cosi is globally, what they do, what your forte is, and what you're known for.
Okay, so Maxi-Cosi introduced the first Group Zero car seat as we know today in 1984. Okay, they've come a very long way since then. And I always believe, and I know that Maxi-Cosi has always been on the forefront of development and ensuring that they bring in the best safe car seats to our customers. In 2004, they were also the first car seat to get a 5-star rating, as you know, which is independently tested in Germany. 2007, we were the first company ever to introduce the first rotating car seat, which was the Axis, and then we had the Axis Fix Plus, and we've just launched the new Mika. In 2010, we were once again on the forefront of developing and introducing the first base, which could accommodate a Group Zero car seat as well as your toddler car seat. Then we came to 2014, and I'm sure most of our readers know about the new R-size standard, which was introduced. This is one of the highest safety standards on the market at the moment, and this was introduced by Maxi-Cosi in 2014. In 2017, you were very much involved with the launch of the Axis Fix Air, which was once again the first car seat with its own airbags.
Yeah.
So you can see I've mentioned the word first quite a few times. Maxi-Cosi is a leading brand internationally and one of the biggest juvenile manufacturing companies in Europe. It aims to get the highest safety standards, and also we want to bring to the customer a brand which they trust, and I think Maxi-Cosi stands behind that, and product that's also easy to use. And yeah, so it was over 50 over 36 years ago that Maxi-Cosi actually brought in the first car seat, and we're proud to say that we've brought over 50 million children home, obviously international, safely home from the hospital to the homes today.
So I fall into that category. Maxi-Cosi was the first car seat that we used to get our kids home from the hospital.
Yes.
And I was sharing just before you joined that overwhelming feeling, because it's always the dad's responsibility. I think when it comes to car seat safety, it's always somehow falls onto our shoulders. And that first time I had to strap that car seat in, and now I'm going to take my baby who was tiny and put him in this car seat and drive out into the world and get him home safely. There was a sense of anxiety, but I think because of the amount of education that we had gone through before that process, there was a sense of comfort and there was a sense of understanding, and you felt secure in your decision.
Yes.
And I think it's important for parents out there that as we go through this conversation today, and if you have questions, to drop them into the comments box below so we can answer those questions for you, because I think it's about also part of what you do is not just about selling a product. You are essentially providing you with the product that's going to be safe. It's not just about the beauty and the aesthetics of it, but there's a huge amount of work that goes into creating the safety of these products. And you're mentioning that 5-star rating. I don't think a lot of people even understand, when we're looking at labels and we're looking at car seats in particular, how important it is to look for those kind of things and look for those certifications to make sure that what we are getting is going to work for a long time, but it's also it's produced that in a good safety mechanics. Debbie, maybe just give our audience just an idea in terms of South African legislation has been updated over the last few years, and we are mandated now to keep our kids in car seats. Just give us an idea in terms of how long is this period that we have to keep our kids in car seats for, according to legislation here?
Yeah, Warren, so it is quite challenging because we are working it on all the time, because currently the South African legislation is that we should only have to keep your children in car seats until the age of 3. However, internationally and South Africa, we follow the European car seat standards. There are only 3 standards in the world, being the North American standard, the Australian standard, and then the European standard. South Africa follows the European standard of car safety. And if you had to have any friends that visited from Europe and you were leaving your little boy in a car seat until the age of 3, they would be absolutely devastated. So we aim to work with the NRCS and the SABS in trying to increase the age, because we find that the most fatalities with children is over the age of 5, between the age of 5 and 12. And that being, if you think to yourself, cars are manufactured around us as adults over 1.3 meters. So the seat belt, which is in a vehicle, is at that specific height. So any child that's under that age, under that height of 1.5 meters, the seat belt is actually detrimental to them in the event of a car accident. And what we found, and I'm sure that a lot of parents will also note, that if the seat belt is not at the right height, their children normally put their arms through. Yeah. Because they find that it cuts them in the neck. Now that is also very dangerous, because on impact, all your focus is then on your abdominal, and the little kids' hips are not developed enough to withstand that impact, which then causes a lot of internal injuries, which you cannot see on impact, and unfortunately some of them are fatal. So yes, we're fighting all the time that children should be sitting in car seats until 1.5 meters, which is the average 12-year-old. It's difficult to explain to a lot of parents, because they tend to think that after they finish your group 1 car seat, which is generally 4 years, that then they can just sit in a car. But if I could encourage, and one message, that staying in a car seat until at least 1.5 meters is crucial, because we do have the stats, and unfortunately we are in the environment where we do get that information, but the biggest fatalities is from the age of 5 to 12.
I think, without scaring parents a lot, it's really important to think of the safety of your kids in a car. I think, you know, there's a lot of people out there that wear their own seat belts because the car's built to beep if your seat belts are not plugged in. And you'll see so
Yes.
many times, I'm sure we've all seen it in traffic, where we sit in traffic and the parents are all strapped up nicely in the front, and in between the back seat or the front seat is your kids kind of hanging over there. And the worst thought is what happens during impact. And I think it's our responsibility to have to think of all these scenarios, and you know, it's important to be prepared for them. Debbie, we've got a lot of questions that are coming in, and I'm going to get straight through to them. So if you wouldn't mind, our first question comes in and is asked, up until what age should a kid be in a car seat? Until, I think you've already answered that. According to legislation, currently 3 years, but ideally your child should be until at least 1.3 meters high or 12 years of age, ideally. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question we've gotten in here says, just want to say, got the best service from the Mama Magic team at the Expo in Joburg summer last year. So, and there's lots of claps and hearts. So thanks so much for that. I think for those who don't know the Maxi-Cosi team, I mean, you guys have your products is available quite widely. You do a lot of sales at the exhibition. And I know that one of your salespeople were awarded best salesperson globally within your category. Is that correct?
That's correct. We actually won an award internationally for the brand or the country that's got the best customer service. So I think we might have some of our viewers that are watching us. We pride ourselves in the customer service. So it's not once the sale is done, that's not where our job ends. We continue. Maxi-Cosi has also offers services, being our swap service in the unlikely event that you're ever involved in a car accident. We can replace your car seat for you within 3 days.
Wow.
So we're all about customer service and being with our customers all the way through, from a newborn baby right the way through until 12 years. We've also just introduced our new equipment range, which includes a cot, as well as a high chair, which is also proven to be doing very well in the market. And I have been advised by Audrey that we can be excited because they're going to be introducing us with new products now on the 22nd of June to see what's coming in 2021. Unfortunately, we won't be visiting Cologne this year, where we go to as an expo, where we get exposed to all the new products for the following year. But we're actually going to be doing it the new way, and that's by virtual cameras. So we're looking forward to that first meeting on the 22nd of June.
Awesome. I think it's so important and so good to know that you are part of a bigger global association, part of a bigger world, essentially as a brand, but also that you are, as South Africa, doing exceptionally well and winning awards. And I think that customer service is so important when we're choosing the right product, because if something goes wrong, if a wheel falls off, or like you said, I'm in need of a new car seat, that customer service, that post-sale service is so important moving forward, because how I need advice, I need guidance. And I remember even phoning Mohammed, which is one of your sales guys, said, Mohammed, I'm not really sure, how do I just kind of explain this to my mom-in-law, who was babysitting the kids at the time. She had the car seat and she needs to kind of clip the kids in, and she's not really sure how, she's forgotten. And just that availability and that service is so important. I've got another question coming in from Fatima. Sure. She says, is it safe for newborns to sit in a car seat, especially while they are so fragile? Now, I mean, I think the basis is that you definitely need a newborn in a car seat, and you've actually made a lot of development in this space, but maybe just talk us through having a baby in a car seat, how long they should be in a car seat for, and why.
Yeah, so a group zero car seat, as we know, is your infant car seat, which could generally take a child until 76 centimeters or 13 kilograms. That little one will always be, Warren, in your rearward facing position, because the cartilage in their neck cannot withstand a forward facing accident. So you'll always see that when it comes to a group zero car seat, there is no way that you can actually install that car seat in a car in the forward facing position. It will always go in the rearward facing position. There's been lots of talks and debating around how long you can keep a child in a seat at the time, but also remember that little babies do sleep, and they do wake up for feeds. So I think the maximum that you would leave a child in a car seat before they're going to wake you for their next feed is 3 to 4 hours. If you're traveling from Johannesburg to Durban, you won't be stopping every 15 to 30 minutes, taking the child out the seat. And you must remember that, I know specifically with Maxi-Cosi, in the development phase of Maxi-Cosi, they have a lot of input from pediatricians as well as many specialists. So the car seats are designed to keep a child in a seat for longer than 30 minutes at a time. So as I say, 3 hours would be the longest because they will be waking you up for their next feed.
Absolutely, and I think that's really important, is how long they can stay in there for, because you don't, a car seat is not designed for babies to sleep in for extended periods of time. It's not something that you can use as a co-sleeper or just kind of go on a holiday. And when you use the car seat, it shouldn't be used there. Ideally, it can come out the car and baby can remain sleeping in there, but it's important to take baby out. Another question is, this is from Leonie. She says, what chair can you recommend for my boy? He's 13 kgs. Rear facing as long as possible. That's not expensive. I think rear facing is so important. Let's maybe talk about the rear facing first and why we should be looking at car seats ideally first that are rear facing and the advantages of rear facing.
Yeah, so rear facing is obviously the safest way to transport babies. As I mentioned earlier, we follow the European standards, and it's been tested and mandatory. It's rearward facing until 15 months. So from 15 months, development-wise, remember what I'm saying, that we classify children according to their different groups. So with the R44 regulation, we always classify children by weight. And what they found is that parents are moving their children into the next stage car seat too quickly. Anything from 9 kilograms, they would move their child into the next stage, which would generally be a forward-facing seat. However, with the ISA standard now, we are classifying children according to their height. So we've gone from weight to height, being that children outgrow car seats in height before weight. Okay, so that's what they found. So we try and keep the child in the car seat for as long as possible in the rearward facing position. However, there are some parents, and we chat to parents every single day. There are parents that want their children to go into the forward facing position. Some children are car sick. So it all also depends on the child, but the minimum age that you can go into a forward-facing position would be 15 months.
So, I mean, I think that's good. I think, so for Leonie, who's asked the question, just go and check, I think, on height. That's really important so that you can better adjust and get an idea of what car seat is best for you during this time. Yeah. I think you're yeah, go ahead, Debbie.
Oh, no, so just don't be in a hurry to move your child from their group 0 car seat. A lot of parents are misinformed or make the mistake that when their little feet touch the back of the seat, that they think that their child has outgrown their car seat. It's only when the head exceeds the top of the seat by 2 centimeters has your child outgrown their car seat. Keeping in mind that some children stay in your rearward facing position until 4 years. So their legs are bent, and children are a lot more flexible than us as adults. And if they don't know better than going into the forward facing position, they will be happy in the rearward facing position. But as I say, in Europe, the mandatory age is 15 months. However, I know that obviously it's a global city at the moment. A lot of people do research, but the Scandinavian countries is where they ensure that kids are in your rearward facing until 4 years.
So, Debbie, with regards to it being rear facing and this idea of having to change your car seats on a regular basis, there is this, I think, this false idea that every few months I have to change my car seat. In terms of what Maxi-Cosi is providing, your that first car seat, how long can you ideally be in that car seat for?
So Warren, I would say the minimum that you would use that car seat for is a year. I had a customer in Swellendam that I spoke to yesterday, and her little one was still 15 months in the Pebble Pro, which is our Group Zero car seat. So I would think most definitely 12 months would be your minimum that your child, unless you do have a very tall baby. Obviously, we're there to accommodate different children, and there are children that aren't tall or heavy, but I say the average child would be 12 months that they can stay in a Group Zero car seat. As I said, that was the biggest concern, is that parents were moving their children out of a Group Zero car seat too quickly into the next stage.
You know, I think, and what I found with my two kids was that my kids are 3 years apart, and by the time Eli, my son, was moving out into the next car seat, he was only, well, he moved out into the newborn and then into the bigger one, but my daughter only then got into the car seat. So for us, it was actually a really good investment because it kind of got passed down. I mean, those seats are in brilliant condition. And it's easy because the fabrics and stuff imported are easy to wash and clean. And I think as parents, I think those are really practical things that you need to look at when you're talking about and looking at car seats, is that longevity that your child will be in there for. But also, you know, when they get into that car seat, it can get very messy. They can throw up, they can eat, they can do all kinds of stuff that can absolutely just destroy that material. And it's important to make sure that you can clean it really, really easy and that it can be washed. And that's the one thing we've enjoyed about our Maxi-Cosi, is that the durability and being able to pass down from one child to another, it has been brilliant. I mean, I think even what you've done is being very creative in ensuring that as the kid gets older, they don't feel left out or they don't feel like a baby, that they still have to sit in a car seat. My son is 6 and is still in his car seat. I know my nephew is 8 years old and is also in a car seat, because we understand the safety of it, but their car seat is way cooler. It's a lot more structured to their body and designed to kind of make them feel a lot more snug. And, you know, I think that's also really important for parents to look at. I've got another question here from Amit Fatima, who says, do you have any tips for traveling with a newborn baby? I know car safety and newborns in car seats is something you can advise on, but is there anything that you can say to a mom who's trying to go long distance with the newborn?
Yes, it's a very difficult one because all kids are so different. So I think the best thing is maybe to leave or make sure that you feed just before you traveling. Feed little ones so that they generally go to sleep, and you'll find that they will sleep for longer periods of time with their tummies are full, and the motion of the vehicle. They tend to fall asleep in the car. And just make sure that your car seat that you've chosen is comfortable, because not only is the safety important in car seats, but also the comfort of a car seat. And I always say to parents as well, is that it's also to do with the fabric that the car seats are made out of, that cover the actual shell. That is also something to consider when looking at a Group Zero car seat. So comfort is just as important as the safety in the seat, because if your child is comfortable in the seat, they're going to enjoy being in the seat, and they're not going to want to move out or cry every time they have to travel in a car seat. But advice on how, it just depends on the kid. Some children are very good, and I was lucky enough that I had 2 very good kids, and traveling for them was the way of falling asleep. So all the best.
And it really does change from child to child. And with my son, he was amazing in the car. Literally put him in and fall asleep. My daughter would be slightly different. And when we went on long distance trips with her, what we found is exactly what you said, is that feed before we would get on the road, so that the idea would sleep longer. Also, make sure that it was in their routine. So if it meant that she was going to have a normal feed and a sleep at about lunchtime or early in the morning, then those are the times we would focus on to get onto the road and get out there, so that it's still within their routine, and not we trying to be on the road when they act up and active and busy and we expect them to be passive and quiet. Make sure that you're well prepared with a lot of just sense of entertainment. You know, sometimes if they do wake up, that you do have the little teddy or something to entertain them with. There is somebody ideally in the back seat with them. I think that helps a lot. Just
Yes.
that sense of
Yes.
comfort, just for them to hold your finger. Those things do help. And I think also we must remember that kids might need you to stop more regularly than you would like to. And be okay with that. Plan that within your trip so you can account for those nappy changes, more feeds, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
There's lots more people that have joined us. Leonie has asked, she said you've answered her question brilliantly, but maybe Leonie, I know that you want a recommendation on a car seat, but I think Debbie needs about the ideal height of your child before she can recommend a car seat that's rear facing for your child.
Yeah,
Debbie,
or she can WhatsApp me. I'll give my number at the end of the interview, Warren, because obviously Maxi-Cosi's got a wide range of car seats. And the reason why we have such a wide range of car seats is that we're trying to accommodate each and every child, because each child is so different. Yeah. So I like to ask quite a few questions to know which seat they're sitting in currently, and then we will give it a more informed answer to that question once I've got all the facts. We also have, because of our customer service that we strive to give our customers, we also have just opened up an experience center in Johannesburg in Greenside, which we have Mohammed and my team, Gift and Prince, who are there, that have also been in the baby industry for many years and can give lots of advice. So if you also want advice on car safety, you can make an appointment and you can meet one of our professional guys at the Experience Center. And there we also have a wide range of car seats, which we are showing all our customers as well. So I'm more than happy to give my cell phone number out afterwards. We actually did that during the lockdown. Obviously, with lockdown, we had limited access to our customers, and we rely quite a lot on the Mama Magic Baby Show to have that marketing and to talk to our customers and to understand the needs of each customer, because each customer is so different, and we like to give you that personal experience that you can walk away after you've spoken to us. You walk away and that you have the knowledge that you came to get at the show. And so I really missed that. And we were obviously a lot more active on the social media, because that was a way of being in touch with our customers. And Mohammed and I made the decision to put our cell number on all our messages that we put out. And we were both overwhelmed with the response that we got. And it was so nice just talking to the customers again. And I think they also felt the relief that they could speak to someone that had the knowledge on car seats and strollers. And all we did was just part and give people things to think about when you're purchasing a pram or you're purchasing a car seat. It didn't necessarily have to be a Maxi-Cosi brand, but any brand, what to look out for. And when you're looking for a stroller or you're looking for a car seat. So, yeah, I'm very happy to give out my cell phone, because that's what we're passionate about. And we want to be talking to people and talking to customers and giving the knowledge that we've gained over the years in selling this wonderful product.
Awesome. Hi, Teddy. I see Teddy's just joined us as well.
Oh, my way.
I think, you know, and I think that's why it's so important for us to chat to you, because I think, you know, even as parents, you've got, and what I've learned in this process is that you've got to find a product that works for you and your lifestyle. But you've got to know what kind of questions to ask, and you've got to know how to evaluate product to product. And I love the fact that your team is openly honest to say, look, if this is not our product for you, then that's fine. But this is what you need to do in order to evaluate, to find the product for you, because we all live very different lifestyles. And I mean, from stroller to stroller, when people choosing different strollers, Maxi-Cosi's got their own range of strollers that are out there and that's available. But we also know that your car seats also clip onto so many different strollers around the country, which makes it so versatile as well. So anything from around the country, we know that you clip onto those. And I think that's the added value behind your brand. So if anybody's got any additional questions, I think maybe the best thing we can do after this is you can quickly just send Maxi-Cosi SA a DM, and they will provide you all the necessary information, so you can get in contact with Debbie and Mohammed and they can answer all your specific questions. I think that will help Leonie a lot. I know that you've got a very
Yes.
detailed website where people can go and find products information. But I think maybe, Debbie, just to give our audience some tips, can you give us just a few tips of what we should be looking for when choosing a car seat?
Yeah, sure. So, Warren, it's also quite difficult in the sense that, it's very easy to guide from the start. So when you come to us and you're preggy and it's your first car seat, the Maxi-Cosi has a wide range of Group Zero car seats that accommodate each person's budget as well as what their needs are. And as we know today, there's two ways of installing car seats in a vehicle, which is also overwhelming for customers because sometimes they don't understand the concept of ISOFIX. Sometimes they believe that the car seat must have ISOFIX, but it's actually before you can put an ISOFIX car seat in your vehicle, your car needs to have ISOFIX.
Yeah.
So that is a very important tip. I mean, we've had a couple at the Mama Magic show where Mohammed actually dealt with him, and she wanted ISOFIX after we explained the whole ISOFIX concept to her. And Mohammed said, "Do you have ISOFIX in your car?" She says, "Well, if it doesn't, my husband will be buying me a new car." So
well,
I
that's
don't know
one
how
way.
Yeah. So obviously, when it comes to purchasing a car seat, we've got a lovely concept that we sell, which is the Family Fix concept, which we spoke about earlier, with one base and two car seats that can clip on it, which I love. It's one of my favorite. So your Group Zero car seat clips onto that base, and then your next stage car seat, which we refer to as your toddler, clips onto the same base. There are car seats in the market. The Maxi-Cosi also has car seats which we can accommodate multi-groups. However, in different stages, there is definitely a place in the market for that. It's just my preference is that I still prefer mono, so that you're accommodating and you're buying a car seat that accommodates that child for those years. And because you must remember that there's a big difference between a newborn baby and a 12-year-old.
Yes.
So so it's not, as I said to you earlier, it's not also about the safety about the seat, it's also about the comfort of the seat. So a simple example is,
Obviously also makes sense because in 12 years that you're going to be using the car seats for your children, those are going to change, your car's going to change, technology is going to update itself. And
correct.
Obviously as your child grows and as technology evolves, you'd be able to add to that. I mean, I think when you guys added your car seat with the first car seats in the world with airbags, I was kind of like, oh my gosh, my mind was blown. And then last year you guys added in the what do you call it? The co-sleeper that goes into the car that can sit as a car seat.
Yes, the equipment rate. Yes.
And that for me was just like, can I have another child? Because all of a sudden technology is evolving so fast that I know that my children are going to be looked after, and it's just getting better and better. So obviously you want to stay up to date with that. And I think that's so important. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, most definitely. So I say is that we've got a very wide range of products that we can offer our customers, and it's very nice for us to be able to interact with you, and let's find the best solution for your child, because as I said, each child is so different, and you might needing a car seat for granny's car or for your husband's car. So we take all those into consideration when we give you a suggestion as well.
Yeah.
And to date, I think we've kept lots of customers happy, and because they recommend us to their friends, and that's what it's all about, is that as long as we can keep you happy and that you'll find value in the information that we share with you with regard to car safety, and you pass that on to your friends. So yeah, the perfect car seat is all to do with your child and your needs at the end of the day.
And you know what you said was such a huge valuable tip for first-time parents out there, is to think about, we always just think about, I'm going to buy one car seat, and we all kind of have this plan that, it'll always be in my car, it'll always be in my wife's car, and that's where the car seat will stay. But then the more you start moving around and you get more mobile, you kind of realize, oh, shucks, I can't go anywhere because you've got the car seats, and oh my, so you end up using another car seat. And then it's exactly what you're saying, is that baby is now with the grandparents, and so how do we move this car seat into their car? Is it suitable for their car? Can it fit their car? Do they need their own car seat? And I think those are important things to consider when you're planning for your car seat. Obviously, you get started with the one, but I think where possible to add those extra elements in is so important into the process of choosing a car seat. Debbie, for a first-time parent that's out there, give me 3 things that they should look for when choosing a car seat.
Well, when you're choosing a car seat, as I said, I prefer monogroup, so a group 0 car seat. I would do a lot of research before purchasing a car seat, and it is an advantage of car seats have been independently tested, so that you'll know that when you're purchasing that car seat that you are buying a safe product, because at the end of the day, your car seat component out of your whole travel system is the most important part, because that's saving your child's life at the end of the day. When it comes to the stroller, that's a product of convenience, and it must suit your lifestyle. So when it comes to choosing a stroller, I find that the easiest part, because there we're just asking, what are your needs out of a stroller? What's the size of your boot? We don't want you to have to go and buy a new vehicle just to accommodate a pram. So at the end of the day, the car seat component is the most important. And know if your car does have ISOFIX or doesn't have ISOFIX. It's not to say that if you don't have ISOFIX that it's unsafe. Okay, what ISOFIX is doing is really we're eliminating human error at the end of the day. We all live very busy lives, and sometimes we think we're just going around the corner and you don't install that car seat properly. Then ISOFIX is safer than a non-ISOFIX car seat. However, if you do the installation properly, you must understand that car seats go under vigorous testing before they go into market. And MaxiCosi, we're very fortunate in that I don't want to say the only, but one of the few manufacturing companies that has our own testing facilities. So we have one in Helmond and one in Portugal. So before a product is launched on the market, it's crashed. Not the same product though, it's crashed 1,000 times. So what we're doing is to ensure that when that product is actually launched, that they have looked at every aspect during that development stage to ensure that when it is on the market and it is called for independently testing, that we do receive a minimum of 4 stars. So I've been privileged enough to be able to go to that factory. It's absolutely overwhelming. I think if I could show all customers what actually happens in the development of a new car seat, you'll be blown away. We have mummies that are for the different sizes and ages for car seats that they test. They have over 300 sensors over their bodies, so you can see the impact on their body in the event of a car accident. The buckles are tested 5,000 times before they're launched on the market. We also take group 0 car seats and we put it on a pram for over 300 kilometers. So you must know the vibrations that car seat undergoes before it actually hits the market. So I think it's very important to understand the brand that you're investing in, to do your research on the actual brand, and also the comfort of the actual seat and the fabric that it's I find that some kids get very sweaty. So it's very important that you purchase a car seat that's got a fabric which is more cotton, to stand the heat and humidity in a car. Because you also remember that a car seat stays in your vehicle. We go up to our air-conditioned office, and that car seat stays in your vehicle the whole day. And gets beaten by the sun. So you've got to do quite a bit of research when actually purchasing a car seat.
I think, those are really valuable tips, because all those things come into play, particularly in our South African climate. being able thinking about your cars being out in the sun, and even in the winter sun, you've got to put your baby in there. How is it going to be too hot for them? How are they going to respond to the textile?
Yes.
Just the safety elements, because that's what it comes down to. How safe
Yeah.
is this car seat? That's a really important thing to look at. Awaken Daily says, I absolutely love Maxi-Cosi. I have one for my daughter. So you've definitely got a lot of fans that are watching here that enjoy your product and
Great.
can testify to the durability, the versatility, the greatness of the brand. But the truth is that there's so many options out there, and you've got to choose a brand that works for you. Now, Debbie, we have been talking about choosing a car seat and choosing the right car seat for you. But I know that you've also got some really exciting news. Next week is Father's Day. And like I said,
Yes.
I think for some reason, dads always get the responsibility of having to choose the car seat and making sure that it's always installed and sorted out. But I mean, it's just as easy for moms. But you've got something special that you're going to do with Mama Magic in line for Father's Day.
Yes, so what we're going to be doing, we're going to be giving away one of our new Maxi-Cosi car seats. It actually arrived during lockdown, and I got my family all down to help unpack the container. So it's called the new Maxi-Cosi Mika. It's a 360 swiveling seat. It's also part of the new eyesight standard, so knowing that it's a very high safety standard. It also has the convenience of the 90 degrees twist. So your rearward facing position, you could go until 105 centimeters, which is the average 4-year-old child. Then it also has the swivel convenience of being able to take your baby in and out of the car, especially those moms that do have big babies and big SUVs. They love the swiveling benefit, and it is a great benefit to have in a car seat. Maxi-Cosi has also launched, they've got a new technology for side impact. Research has shown that 45% of car accidents on the road are from the side.
Wow.
And so they've developed a new technology, which is called the G-cell technology. So if you can imagine like a honeycomb, and there's gel in there, so on impact that would explode and obviously keep the baby safe on the side. And then, as we spoke earlier as well about the comfort and the fabric that car seats are made out of, is also Maxi-Cosi's got a new thing called the Aeroflow. So if you can imagine, when little ones have temperatures, we tend to take a wet cloth and put it around their neck for cooling. They've got the Aeroflow now at the back of the seat, so it continues to have that airflow from the front to the back, so that keeps your child cool at all times. So there's lots of exciting new things, and as I say, they're always on the forefront of developing things and bringing new things to parents. We're continuously doing research. We're continuously getting feedback from our customers to understand what their concerns are and what their needs and wants are. So we listen to all those, and then we've got a fantastic team in Europe which then puts it all together. So those are the two new technologies that Maxi-Cosi has introduced in our new products. So you'll see a lot of our new products that are going to come into the market will have this G-cell technology as well as the Aeroflow.
I think that's so exciting. I think when you were talking about the new technology and the opportunity to walk away with one of these car seats, it's just, we've got lots of hearts and excited faces, and mom just getting very, very excited out there. So stay tuned to the Mama Magic and the Maxi-Cosi SA pages for more information about that competition and how you could walk away with one. Debbie, thank you so much for your time. I think it's been absolutely valuable, and I think what's so important is that people really have to understand that they've got to choose something that works for them. So in order to do that, all you have to do is DM the Maxi-Cosi team. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. DM them. They will send you through a questionnaire. They'll put you in contact with Debbie or Mohammed. They will take you through the process of choosing a car seat that's right for you, that'll fit your budget, that suits your car style. all that kind of stuff. And they'll be able to answer your questions one-on-one. And I think that's the kind of service that we're all looking for, that we all need right now, because I think there isn't always a one-size-fits approach. And you've got to find something that works for you. So we're really excited about that. I'm sure your lines are going to be super busy with everybody kind of just messaging you and getting in contact with you. I'm sure Leonie's going to be in contact with you first, because she wants to know exactly which car seat is going to work for her. So thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, Debbie.
No, but thank you, Warren. Thanks very much for giving us the opportunity. As I know, we worked with Mama Magic for, or I don't want to say how many years, because I know how old we are, but it's been many years. And thank you very much for this opportunity. And it's so nice to be able to speak to our customers.
Thanks so much. Thanks to everybody for tuning in and watching this session with us. We've done Instagram Live today on choosing the right car seat for you with Maxi-Cosi South Africa, represented by Debbie Bilson of Brands Africa. Don't forget to get in contact with us. Drop us questions on anything you'd like to hear from us in the future. And if you get in contact with Maxi-Cosi South Africa, be sure to DM them on any one of their social media platforms. They will get in contact with you personally and help you through this this time. Thanks much for tuning in. A special shout out to Audrey, who's sitting out in Europe, international of the Maxi-Cosi brand. So thanks so much for tuning in and joining us. And we'll be sure to share the story and more on our Instagram pages. Thanks much, everybody. Have a good and safe afternoon. Bye-bye.
Thanks very much. Thanks, everyone.